Verse, it's me, the Angel Man, here today to give you guys another video. Welcome, Verse, to another episode of the podcast. I'm here with my guest. It's interesting. I always wanted to have a podcast like this. What do you think, Mike? That's cool. So, Verse, right now I'm trying to do the next episode of the podcast. I believe this is episode 12. I invited my good friend of mine that hasn't been on the show for a while, and I'm just kind of waiting for him at this point. I'm on Facebook, you know, and in fact, let me go on right now on Messenger and see if I could find out where he's at. Well, now I know how other podcasts feel like when they're in the middle of trying to do a podcast and then they ever talk about having a guest come late. It's been a little over an hour. There we go.
Hello?
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
The podcast is starting with who?
It's 3 people. Me, myself, and I.
Anyway.
I'm recording right now. I got you on speaker on the laptop.
Oh.
When I say hey,
Why?
I just want to explain to the audience that I had this set up and it's been a little bit, so I'm just kind of waiting on the guests. But I figure, you know what? Let's have some fun and check up on Michael.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, man. This shit's family, man.
Well, that's something we could talk about. Everything cool?
No, we're all good. It's just they wanted me to help out and move, and I was like, okay, that's fine. But everybody was sitting around.
They were just chilling?
They were just chilling, and then when it was finally time, I was like, I gotta explain. I gotta go now.
Just out of curiosity, would you have been able to do it like after the podcast?
No, that stuff, nah. Because they would have got tired and they would have moved it themselves. But I was just like, I'm already in the area, so.
I mean, they still did that regardless. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just like, I'm already in the area. I'll help you out. Everybody was just like kind of sitting down.
So bullshit.
So I'm just letting you know I'm on my way.
Whew. Let me clarify, Verse, just to make this podcast, you know, try to get more to the point. You know, my friend Michael here on the computer, who'll be here shortly, basically, he was the very first guest on the podcast, right? When we had that whole Legit Studios drama going on. You there?
You're breaking up.
Right, to let people know who you are, you were the first guest on the podcast.
Son of a bitch. You keep breaking up.
Well, Verse, this is what it's like when you're in the entertainment business. You try to do a show, you get it going, and then, you know, things just happen out of the side, and you plan ahead, and somehow it's just nonsense. Oh, man. How you doing, Michael? Welcome on the show, my guy. This is Michael Everly, my friends. This is the very first person I've ever had on the podcast. Thank you, Michael. How was your drive?
Fucking exhausting. I don't know why the fuck my mother moved to West Oakland.
That's good that I have you on here, man. Thank you. And I know West Oakland. Let me ask you something since we're already talking about it. This morning, right? You were doing some moving around. Like, moving, what exactly were you moving? Like, just furniture or like just...
Yeah, no, we had to get the house back in order.
But regardless, we started the podcast. Had some fun. It's great to see you, man. I haven't seen you in, like in a year.
Yeah, almost damn near a year. You were finishing school the whole beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And then Gabe moved.
Sacramento. Well, regardless, we haven't seen Gabe for a while. But, you know, as long as he's doing all right.
That one will be a year.
Yeah. Julius just graduated.
Yeah, good for him. Look, again, I've already stated my fact that I'm not mad. I'm done.
It's like, whatever.
I'm over it, but it's just like, I'm moving on.
No, yeah. And to clarify, like I said, Michael was the very first podcast. And when I started this podcast, right, it was over just issues that were going on with the old Legit Studios group that we had. And
then for the sake of argument, I'm not going to name names.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to be named, but you know who you are. And I will be telling the stories. You want to come at me, go right ahead. We can talk. We can do whatever. Like, I'm not... You know what you are. You know what you did.
That is true.
So I'm not going to put your name out there, but your person A, B, whatever.
Let me ask you something. We've known each other since high school, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a while, man. And now we're all getting to the point where we're about to do our own thing, starting out life. And when we started off with legit studios. And now we were with a group, and now we're kind of all doing our own thing. But some of us are still pretty close. It's not like it completely disbanded, right? Like, there's still me, you, Gabe, Julius here and there. I mean, the point is that at the end of the day, every group, every person has problems. But at least we know how to talk it out. You know what I mean?
Between you, me, Gabe, like Julius, kind of, sort of, it was always we had discussions, or we talked it out and we kind of figured it out. Everybody else was just...
Petty.
No, they're definitely petty. Two in particular. This is where I'm bringing up persons A and B. Like, you guys, everything had to be revolved around you.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't... This is how you can tell you're a part of a good group of friends, or very, very close friends. Because I consider you and Gabe, like, very close. You guys are like family to me.
Yeah, same here, man. Absolutely.
But I was just like, this little group here, this is like my second family. But, like, a lot of them, they kind of, like, let the mask fully come off, and they showed who they really are.
Sadly, we've just like you, we've known some of these people, ex-friends, for a while. And one thing that I know you wanted to talk about coming onto the show, you said you wanted to have a discussion about toxic people being around you, right?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
And these friends that we had, did you think that right away they were toxic immediately, or you didn't?
No, like,
they really started to show that.
So when you first meet somebody, like you. My first impression of you was, like, I didn't know this guy. Like, who the fuck? Because Kat introduced me to you.
Yeah.
That's how our friendship started. And my first introduction to you was just like, okay, who the fuck is he?
Right.
Like, you're random. It's just like some random guy. And she's like, oh, this is Angel. I'm like,
hey.
And then you and I started chatting, and then we had a lot of stuff in common. And I was like, holy shit, this guy's cool, actually.
Yeah, same with you, man.
We had the luxury of freshman and sophomore year to actually get to, like, expand our friendship, get to know each other a lot more.
Yeah.
And plus, you've seen, like, you were involved in a very toxic relationship I was in.
Yeah, you've had quite a few interesting relationships.
Well, relationships, some of them were like, no. Yeah, after that, I kind of stopped dating. Because I was just like, yeah, let me just focus on me.
I was about to say that, yeah. Just have some time to yourself. Like, improve yourself, work on yourself.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. You know, a lot of people nowadays, there's this discussion about being in relationships, right? And do you feel like you necessarily have to be in a relationship? Or, like, do you feel like you should work on yourself and then be
To tell you the truth, I feel like you really need to know yourself before you can be with anybody else. Me, personally, I find myself... There are some things I've already clarified with myself. Like, I can definitely say that I have found out things where I'm just like, yeah, I've done this, I've done that, but I can move past it, move on with my life. But then there's other times where I'm just like, small shit will get me frustrated, or I don't want to have that discussion of like, oh, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? It's just, well, bro, how about we figure parts A through B out first? You know what I mean? Even looking at social media nowadays, where it's just a bunch of people are like, oh, look, we're so happy together, we have kids, and it's just like, and you look at their age, and I'm like, bro, y'all is like 26, you're flaunting around your kids.
Do you think social media is fake?
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course.
100. The ones who are just sitting there, oh, look at us, we're so happy, we have kids, and blah, 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 and I'm like, oh, congratulations, you have kids at 26. Let me ask you, bro, when is the last time you took a vacation for yourself?
True, yeah. I think it's okay to have some time to yourself here and there, even if you are with family, right?
Yeah.
But my thing also is, people have a tendency on social media to brag a lot.
I've seen that a lot.
A lot. Like, for me, like, I just got my bachelor's in the mail finally after like 6 months. So it's okay to celebrate an achievement. When it's nothing near that, it's okay to post what you're doing, what's going on. But then people just constantly brag. Like, they always brag.
Look at this new product placement I got.
They
just sent me all this nice free stuff. I'm like,
wonderful. Like, okay, are you gonna share? I don't know, man. I mean, nowadays everybody's trying to be an influencer. Like, everybody. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to be active on social media. People try too hard sometimes.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, my thing is, you can tell the people who are doing it because it's their craft and they like it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But like the people who are like just trying, it'll be like the stupid pranksters.
I hate those channels so much. I don't even watch them much. Every time I see someone doing some shit or even these pranks, I'm just like, Why? Like, some people do them okay where it's not really hurting anybody. It's just a question. I've seen those. And then there's some where literally they're just annoying people. And I'm just like, what is the point of that? Like, and then right away people aren't dumb because of social media. People are like, I know what you're doing.
You know, they have a point when you're doing that kind of shit. I don't give a shit if it's assault anymore. I'm going to deck you. Bro,
it's like, you're annoying me.
Yeah, but like, you're gonna come up to me and start touching shit in my basket and then like throwing it on the ground or just annoying me. I'm like, all right, so what do you gain from this? You're like, I'll take you out in the parking lot. We could settle it right now. Like, I'm gonna fucking deck you, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's like this new generation of influencers. It's like, they don't really know how to be creative, so let's just mess with people. And I'm like, it's how long has that been going on? Like, come on. People are getting tired of that. But now people just do it because it's TikTok, and they think it's just fun to do. And I'm like, it's really
not fun to do. It's called hate watching. Like, they're not there to like laugh
oh,
with
you're
you.
Amazing, you're funny. It's more like, hey, I'm just here to let you know you're still stupid. It's like that.
None of your comments are nice, and if they are, they're from like kids who are 12.
Now look, let me be honest. When you have an audience, it doesn't really matter what age range, because you're grateful to have an audience. I am.
Yeah.
You know? But at the exact same time, you also want to make sure you have an audience that's actually about what you are. Not just there because it's like, well, they can hate me or not, but I don't give a shit. It's like, well, I get that to an extent if they're actually haters. But if they're not haters and you know they're genuinely there just to start something, why do you want that? I don't want that. I'll be like, you don't want to watch them, don't watch the videos. That's fine. But like, why do you want to come on here just to complain?
Yeah.
Hey, don't you got better things to do? It's like
I've already had my fair share of comments.
But then that's the thing. Here's the most annoying thing about social media right now: scams. It's everywhere, dude. Scams, not even just scams. Spam comments, spam emails, spam accounts, spam. Dude, it's so annoying. And now it's to the point where like, if you have any type of social media, if you have any type of email, if you have any type of account of any kind, you need to have protection. It's like if you're having sex, you need that condom. You just need it. Here for
sponsored by NordVPN.
It's like, hey, Trojan.
Trojan. I mean, hit us up, like.
It's not, no, but really, it's like, I have VPN right now, right? And I need it because it's like when I was on Instagram, I used to get your story, you see those, like, do you want to F me right now?
Yeah, no, I still get those. I have Nord now because of you.
No, they're good. That's good, yeah.
But I had the 2-year, I got it off a YouTuber who gave me 2 years for free.
Oh, I got that too.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I got the 2-year plan because I was like, hell yeah, why not? 2 years solid protection, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
And I don't get that anymore either on my Instagram. Like every once in a while.
No, yeah. But every once in a while, you'll get those weird accounts. Quote, oh yeah, do you want to fuck me? Do you want to see what I look like?
I'm like, no.
Not really. I mean, like, I got better shit to do.
You know, I kept getting that when I was Cora. And then I was just like, do I look like I want any of that? But do you even know what you're spamming? It was like, come on now, you know, it was pretty obvious. Not even that. What's very annoying is that sometimes they try to be slick now. I had an account that I got where it looked kind of decent, and I was like, wait a minute. So I checked something. You know how when you post something on Instagram, there's a time and a date that you posted. This girl added me, but it didn't look like anything. And I was like, I'm too cautious now because of this. So I clicked the profile and I went down. Had like maybe 9 pictures on there, and they looked pretty decent. Like they were on like this girl was on vacation or whatever. I clicked it, then it said May 27th, 2022, and I was like, May 27th, 2022.
Yeah.
May 27th. I was like, they're all the same freaking date. We're not that stupid, man. Come on.
Me, personally, I don't even look at the date. Bro, the second I click on your account and it says 6,000 followers, you only have 9 pictures, block.
Right, no, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But it's just easier to confirm. But there's many ways to do it. You know, they're so sloppy.
I'm like, if you're gonna tell me you got 6,000 followers and you've only posted 9 pictures, at least maybe believe it. But post like 100 and something photos and then tell me, oh yeah, 6,000 followers. I might buy it. Yeah. But you got 9 photos. Like over 6,000, double my follower count, bro. Yeah. Hell no. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And this is the struggle of me living with 2 elderlies. And they get roped into it a lot. And then I'm just like, don't click this. Don't you dare click that. And then I'm afraid to go to work because my grandmother, she gets emails. Then she has to confirm or deny this. And I'm just like, she goes, oh, is this, from Loney, because I know you went to Chabot, and I'm just like, let me see. No, don't you dare click on that, because that's a scam. Why would they send you an email?
I was about to ask you, did she sign anything? No. Or so then why?
I applied to Chabot myself, so if anything, my email is on that. So why would you send that to my grandmother?
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just everything's changed. Everything's flipped now. Like before we had television, now it's streaming services. I mean, cable's still there, but it's not even about that anymore. It's just about what streaming service you can get, and now there's so many. You know.
Yeah,
now when it comes to social media, now you got Before it was just always Facebook. Oh, well, no, sorry, MySpace. It was about MySpace. Then it became Facebook. Now we got Instagram. Then there's Twitter. Now we got TikTok. Now there's OnlyFans. Let me ask you a fair question. Have you ever checked out OnlyFans?
No. Maybe like it's been in the back of my head.
I'll be honest, I have. Now hear me out. Not to check out anybody, but just because like when I heard about what OnlyFans was when it first came out, I just kept hearing about that it was mainly for like
Sex
workers, right? And then when I came across it, because I was like, what is this, like Pornhub or something? And then when I checked it out, I was like, no, it's not. Like, people do other stuff on there too. Like, I found a guy that like does cooking on there. I found another one of a guy working out. And there's even women on there that just be working out. But no, it's just, OnlyFans is just mainly known more for that.
Yeah. But like, I have a friend, she had an OnlyFans for like a little while.
Let me ask you something. If you were to go out with someone, would you go out with someone that has an OnlyFans?
No.
Yeah, same here. I wouldn't do that.
I'm sorry,
I don't feel comfortable with that.
I'm all for women working and making their own money, but bro, if you're out there like doing it in front of a camera for like other men, all right, cool. Like I'm out.
Just to clarify, I never paid a subscription, and I just wanted just to be safer, right? I didn't do anything on there. I just wanted to check it out to see what it was when I first heard about it. I kept hearing that. I was like, what the hell is this OnlyFans thing? And then just to see what it was, I was like, oh, but you gotta pay all these. I ain't doing that shit. Like, yeah. Especially since to pay that, it's like for what? It's just such a waste of time and money. And then if I come across someone that does it, I'm not gonna judge them. It's like, that's you, I guess. That's what you want to do, fine. If I ended up coming across a girl and she told me she had that, and she was to be like, would you be okay with that? I'd be like, no. Well, no, I'm not comfortable being with you, and then I have other dudes looking at you like that.
Yeah.
For me, that's uncomfortable. You gotta understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're gonna get jealous off people staring at me, but I told you I have an OnlyFans, it's like, but it's the same shit.
Yeah,
you know, like
you got dudes staring, but they're not only staring at you; they're paying to stare at you.
Yeah, and I don't like that. It's just kind of weird.
No, yeah, that's 100%. I can't date you if you're like talking about, oh yeah, I'm going inside for like 35 minutes. I gotta shoot this OnlyFans.
I saw a video of this guy, right? I saw him on Instagram where basically he was going to do something for his anniversary that had to do with his wife. He was married to her for like almost 20 years, and then he ended up confronting her because he filed for divorce because he found out his wife had an OnlyFans for quite some time. And he went on a rant because he was like, why the fuck do you have that? Like, we're married and you're doing that? Like, what, are you behind money or what? And she was just like, well, it's just to make extra money. And then he goes, get a damn job. I was just like,
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, again, I'm not against women in the workplace. Like, come on now. Like, that's something better than, like, flaunting yourself.
To me, that's different only because they're already in a relationship. So, I get his frustration. But if you're on your own, then that's on you. Yeah. You know, I'm not judging that or whatever. I'm just saying that's on you, you know? But it's like, be honest about it. But, I mean, that just goes to show that's how social media really changes people, you know what I mean? It's just too much sometimes.
It is, man. That's why I've been asked that so many times because now I have coworkers who have come across my channel.
Oh.
And they love the content I do, and I get constantly asked, when's the next movie? Or when's your next shorts? We love your shorts.
Let me ask you this, man. So, yeah, you did a short film recently. Let's talk about this. You finally did a short film of a script that you were writing for a little while, right? Because you decided that you wanted to do writing and directing. This short film you did, you wrote, directed, and unexpectedly performed in it. And when you did, it was going pretty well. Until the very last scene. So, to clarify, he has a male friend, and this male friend found a female actress. Things were going great. I wasn't there. I was about to be. You introduced me to the scene where you asked a theater, independent theater right here
in Castro Valley.
I
called them up and I asked them, can I please use an auditorium?
Yeah.
Can I use an auditorium? Maybe like 20-30 minutes tops.
Yeah, half an hour.
Half an hour, has to be empty, and then your cleaning can come in, boom, in and out. You won't see us. And then the guy was very nice. He was like, yeah, no, sure. And in all fairness, as soon as the film is done, we give you Cry's credit. We say special thanks to blah, blah, blah. And he was all for it. He told me, let me know the time. Let me know your name. So that way we got you guys. And you guys don't come in and it's like security stops you.
Right,
So
right, yeah.
you guys are going into an empty theater and like security stops you. But I was all set. I was happy. 2 days before we had the date, I call up my lead actor. I say, can you get confirmation from the lead actress? He calls me back and says, well, she texts me back. She says she's not going to do it because she doesn't want to drive out here to shoot a 5-minute scene. And I was like, what? It's like, she says it would be a waste of gas. For me, that's so...
unprofessional.
Yeah, and I was like...
it's very petty. Because it's like, you know what you sign on for.
And I'm like, bro, okay, but this is like the last scene I needed. And it's just like, yeah, she says no. And I'm like, okay, so now I have to make the hardest call ever to a place I was really excited to shoot in and tell him flat out, I can't do it.
Let me ask you, before that happened, have you ever went to a different location and asked?
We went to 2 different theaters. We went to Century. They flat out told us no. Because it's Century.
There are 2 up there, I guess.
2 up there. And we were just like, is there no way for us to like get it for 5 minutes? And then she even tried to convince him. Manager was like, look, we can't just have you guys, because we don't know what you guys are doing. And I was like, well, yeah. She even offered like, well, you can have like 2 or 3 people. We're not going to record a movie. And she's just like, well, I don't know that. If you guys want an auditorium, you can pay for a private party. And I was just like, okay, but
how much is that? Do you know?
That was like 100 and something.
Ooh.
So it had to be like a birthday party kind of thing. But that required me to like invite like a bunch of people. And I'm like, bro, I'm not trying. And what movie would you even be having on in the background? Yeah, I get to pick it, but like, bruh, I
for 5 minutes?
Yeah, for 5 minutes. And then like, I gave you 100 and something. I only need the auditorium for like 30. And Century, yeah, like that was my one irritation. Century was like irritating.
Very complicated.
Yeah, very complicated because they wanted me to, I was like 30 minutes. They don't know what we're going to do. And we explain everything. And blah, blah, blah. We went to another theater. It was a Indian theater.
Bollywood.
Fucking 5-hour movie. 5-hour plus movies with intermissions. Indian owned, Indian ran.
Yeah.
And we did talk to the manager. He was kind of cool with us. And he was willing to let us shoot there. Issue was they have school and I have work, and he was only giving us days
that didn't work.
It
was 2 in between, or?
Well, no, he was giving us days, and we're like, oh, well, you guys can either come in Monday or Tuesday and shoot, but we don't open till the afternoon, and it's just like, they get off at classes, or they're like in between classes in the afternoon. I'm at work. And then he gave us another option, oh, well, you guys can do it Wednesday, but you guys can do it in the morning. And I was like, does Wednesday work for anybody? And they were like, no, because my actress had work, he had school, I had the mornings, but I was just like, and he wasn't really meeting us halfway. So that's when I found my number for Castro Valley, and I talked with him.
You called, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, no, completely okay with it. You guys can come in if it's 30 minutes. And then he told, if I can just have like 1 or 2 of my workers watch you guys, make sure you're not destroying the place or nothing. I was just like, yeah.
They could have did that at Century. That's what's so stupid.
Again, Century is a franchise of different theaters, so... yeah, I'm just like...
whatever.
But then the actress...
Let me ask you, before the female actress became complicated, for whatever the reason, because from what you told me, everything was going pretty smooth, and then this happened. Did she know ahead of time that you guys were going to film this scene on a different day?
Yeah.
So then what was the problem?
I don't know. I don't know. Out of the blue, just...
Like she knew.
Yeah.
But just, she didn't want to waste her time. I'm telling you, if this was a paid gig, oh hell no. You're going to get your ass over here. I paid you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is when you asked me if I wanted to be in it for the scene, for the story of what it is. And for the film, I'll put a link in the description below so people can check it out and see for yourselves. But you told me that there was a scene where I was going to be basically playing this other guy, where it was going to cause this couple to break up, right?
The scene... So, I don't know if you mind me, like, explaining the scene, but, like, in the movie, she says that there's somebody else.
Yeah.
So the scene was supposed to be them on their second date, which would be the theater.
Yeah.
And then the main character, he goes, he gets popcorn, he comes back, he sees her sitting with, like, there's some other guy.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking, laughing. He walks up and it's just, you give this kind of look and it's like...
Like, can I help you?
Yeah. Then you just kind of slip her your number and then you walk off to your seat. And that kind of drives the whole thing of just like, he was gonna sit down, act like nothing happened, offer her popcorn, she just kind of huffs and like watches the movie. And then that's when we move into like more time has passed. You know what I mean?
In the short film, yeah, there's a scene where the actress says that she wanted to break up. But that scene that we were going to do was the clarification for why.
Yeah.
But because she didn't do it, you could tell there was like a missing scene.
There was a missing scene in there. Because all of this took place well over, like, this was weeks.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to be, oh, well, she only met him once. No, this was like weeks after she's probably been seeing this guy behind his back for like weeks on end. That would lead to that.
See, that's what's so unfortunate, because it's like, dude, if I had that scene, I would have used it as a demo reel. That would be great, you know? Because we're in an actual location, we have actors, we're working together, you know? That's something you could have used too. But, oh man. And what's funny is that she wasn't going to drive. You were the one that offered to transportation.
I drove, I gave snacks, I made sure they were, taken care of for the whole film.
And still, it's like, no.
Yeah, no, she didn't want to drive that long for a 5-minute scene. I was just like,
she wasn't even that far away. Like, it was like the next city over.
All I got from my lead actor saying she didn't want to drive there because she didn't want to waste gas for a 5-minute scene.
I don't see how you're gonna want to be in entertainment and not have to put in the time to travel. That's just part of it. I mean, sure, some things are covered and are paid for, absolutely, and you're gonna be getting a huge compensation, but to build up to that, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, that's part of being an actor 101. I don't understand how you sign up for something and then refuse to do it. What? You're gonna have a bad reputation of not being good to work with.
Yeah.
And then besides the female actress, because we were like, oh man, okay, well that happened. Then your male lead.
So the film was supposed to be done a long time ago.
Okay, so to clarify, in your short film, it's very short. It's like 3 minutes at most.
3 minutes at most.
And the film, it revolves around narration.
Yes.
And all you needed that was left was the narration.
His narration.
But then what happened?
Yeah, I kept just getting, oh yeah, it's coming. I have to do it at work. I have to do this. I have work. I forgot I had work. It's just...
How do you forget you have work? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but how do you forget you have work? Oh yeah, it's Monday. I gotta work tonight. It's like, what?
Yeah, and I'm just... I'm not gonna look at the movie right now, but... I was waiting on these narrations for so long. He hits me up. He's like, I got the narrations done. And I was like...
Finally. After how long?
Yeah.
4, 5 months?
Yeah, this was in, like, July, dude. I'm sorry I didn't try them. And then it's just like, okay, but if you knew you half-assed it, why did you do it?
Yeah, that's like, why send it then? If you knew it wasn't really what you could have done. It's just a waste of time. Oh, poor Michael. But I even told him this. I said, well, Mike, as a director, the hard part, you already faced.
Yeah, I'm hoping my next project won't be this fucking difficult.
Yeah.
You better not be this fucking difficult.
I'm not even close to that. Trust me, my guy, the moment you tell me to do something, I'll be like, okay, I'll ask questions, but I'm going to make sure I follow your vision. But I'm not going to be like, Michael, can we do it Sunday? What the fuck? No way, man. Because if I do it this way. I'm interested in directing too, and who knows? Eventually, I might try to do something. And even like something as simple as a podcast. I want to make sure everyone's on time. I want to make sure that everyone's able to come and everyone's cool. If I'm able to compensate for whatever the reason, I'm able to do that. I want to make sure I get my thing done too. So I understand how it is to want to get something done. But then if I end up getting my thing done, or if I want something to be done, and then I'm complicated, I'm like, there's no way my thing's gonna be done because I'm giving them a hard time, and I don't want them to give me a hard time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So trust me, my guy. That's when you asked me for your next project. I'm like, yeah, it sounded great. Like I'm down. But then I was only worried because the same male actor that worked with you was thinking about wanting to come, and then I was cautious, like, Michael, you sure?
In all honesty, I might wind up doing the scene myself.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't trust him anymore?
It's not that I don't trust him, it's just I want to try my hand back at acting.
Right, yeah. We talked about this yesterday. Yeah, we had a good talk.
And I was just like, you know what? As much as I would love to see him try it, I kind of want to do this myself.
That's totally good, man. Yeah, hell yeah. You should do that. Let me ask you, which is harder for you, acting or directing?
Now that I've directed, I want to say it was directing, but no, it's not because the vision got done. I really want to say acting because I need to know what I'm...
Your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. There will be a lot of people like, oh, you could have delivered this line a little... And it's like, yes, but you got to understand, I was supposed to be directing.
Yeah, you had to replace an actor who couldn't do it anymore.
The schedule kept getting pushed back. He gave up.
Yeah.
He was like, look, I would love to do your vision, man. You know I would. I just can't.
It took too long.
It took too long. And I understand from where he was coming from. So I had to jump in at last minute, and I was like, I kind of know what this character, but I don't, because I was going to give the direction to somebody else. Yeah. So for me to jump into this character and be like, okay.
I think it's fine for you to jump in if it was like a small role, but since it was kind of a major role.
It was a major role, and I was like, I had to jump in and also direct at the same time, and I was already exhausted because we were already halfway through the day.
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't just the director, I was the videographer, I was the editor, I had to find the music.
You were a one-man crew.
One-man crew.
Basically, yeah. Let me ask you something. As an actor yourself, what is it that you're pretty good at, and what's something you can work on? Same thing with directing. What is something that you're pretty good at when it comes to directing, but what's something you feel like you could work on better?
Something I could definitely work on better in directing. I'm going to start with directing. Something I'm really good at, definitely letting you know what I want to see from this scene, giving direction. 100%, I was letting them know what I want and how you should act. Because there would be times where they were just like a little too happy, and I was like, okay, yes, you guys are happy, you're in a relationship, good, tone it back.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit. Remember, this is like the first time you're meeting this person, you're not going to be this fucking happy.
It's more like let's see how this is going to go, you know?
Yeah, like, the first 2 takes, I think my lead actor was like, oh, we didn't need 3 takes. And I was like, I showed him the 3 takes, I was like, too happy here. You guys look so dead uninterested. The last take was the only good take because you guys were nervous, but you were also happy because this is the first time you're meeting this person.
Already he made a mistake there. Don't tell the director how many takes they need.
Yeah, don't tell me how to do this.
Don't tell me how to do my job. You perform as much as I need you to. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was other scenes where it's just like, I was even telling the lead actress, she was like, how angry do you want? I was like...
That's good.
Yeah,
she asked questions.
I was like, we're going to do 3 takes. First 2, show me like really just like pissed off. Like give me some like dead ass, like pissed off, like you're completely done with this person. And the first 2 she did really good. The third one I really loved.
And that's when
she gave me the most attitude with the third one, and I was like,
she was building up to it.
Yeah, I was like, fucking perfect. That's the one I want.
Yeah.
Was something I could definitely work on as a director. Being a little more aggressive with them, with time wise, and like, I need this done like now.
Honestly, be like, look, I've been patient, and now it's just you're dragging it.
Yeah, you guys are dragging it. Come on now.
Now with acting,
I definitely could say I do need to work on like being more emotional and like, I guess projecting a lot more.
Expressing?
No. So like, you know the scene in the movie where it's like he's supposed to feel sad for this person. But when I talk, I'm talking like really low.
Oh, you mean sympathetic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'm just like, you need to hear me, and it's just like, I'm down here.
You want to express the tone that you're going for, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like if I'm needed to do a role where it's like, feel like really, really sad, like beaten up. I'm just like, I could try it, but like, I would need to go to like a really dark place.
I mean, hey, that's part of being an actor. Sometimes you do what you gotta do to get to that mindset. You know what I mean? People have gone too far sometimes. But if it's for the point of the scene to do your job, people are gonna appreciate that.
I could definitely say something I'm good at as an actor is definitely going with the flow. Like, if this line is improvised, I can keep up with that person who's improvised something. You know what I mean? Like, I won't stumble over. Because a lot of my original stuff was improvised scripts. Some of them worked, some of them...
Let me talk about this. So going back to what we were to the very first topic on the video, right, with the crew that we were with, because we did a lot with the script, right? We hung out, we filmed, we did a lot of sketches, we had a YouTube channel. Everything that's to say, we already said it in the first 4 episodes of the podcast where I interviewed every single one of you. Now that time has passed, my guy, just what do you think about that whole situation when you look back on it?
When I think about that whole situation now, definitely not all of them. Most of them have points.
Yeah.
Especially, persons A, you know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then person B. But it's like, they definitely have points. A lot of things could have been changed, but also they never actually tried or conveyed that to us.
It was more like you should have known. And I'm like, but you didn't want to communicate.
You never wanted to communicate.
We can't read minds.
I'm not Professor X. I can't do this and be like...
Just be like, Gabe, I didn't know you were thinking of that.
Yeah, like...
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta communicate with people. Communication is very important.
Where you finally communicated with me and Gabe about the card games.
Yeah.
And I took that to heart. And I was like, okay, you know what?
Let me chill with it.
Let me chill a little bit.
Okay.
And it's just like when Angel's not here, when we're not filming, yeah, we could play a couple rounds. But when he's here, when we have the crew here, let's put it away. Let's actually get some work done.
Yeah.
And we did. But then, of course, nobody else wanted to come. It's because it's just like, oh, well, are they going to play card games? And it's like, okay, well, if you were actually part of the conversation, you would have figured out this was already resolved.
Yeah, that's true.
You weren't. You assumed. You assumed we were still playing cards. Mm-hmm. And then you want to act surprised when we're not doing it anymore.
No, like, we had this conversation like 3 weeks ago. You just found out. Like, you know.
No, and then it's just like, oh, well, you know, are you guys done playing cards? Like, how come you're not playing cards anymore? It's like, okay, you're worried that we're not playing cards.
But you were complaining about it.
You were complaining about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand, like, where most people were like, oh, did we cause you guys to stop, you know, doing the thing you love, like your hobby? It's like, no, we kind of balanced it. But now that we're not doing it, you're all concerned because now we're not doing the thing that you wanted us to stop. Fucking double standard. Where do you stand on that?
Let me ask. When we were having legit studios going, we all obviously had our own problems with things happening here and there. Not just with the cars, but with anything. Whether it was with time, whether it was trying to get something done. Cars was a huge issue, and I was the one that did talk about that the most. I was one of them, obviously. But then after having to talk, even with Gabe, when we had that talk too, you know, he came at me about that. I was just like, no, you're right. I get it, man. That is your thing. You got your reasons. But you got to see it from my point of view, too, man. Like, that's all you... Not anymore. But I'm just saying at the time, that's all you did. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But most of us are here to film, and people are leaving one by one, right? And then you took that very seriously, and you were like, yeah, let me change that shit. And I really do appreciate that, you know? And Gabe too. What I wanted to say is that when it comes to us in the crew that was communicating with each other, even though we had disagreements, we at least resolved our problems.
Yeah, but
you know,
like another part of like the other part of the crew
didn't.
They didn't. They assumed.
They assumed.
They assumed nothing was fixed, so they stopped coming.
Yeah.
But nobody took this time to communicate. And then when they had problems, it never was jump to Angel for help. It was never jump to Gabe, jump to Michael to help fix our problems. And I'm just like, when did I become the psychiatrist for all of you guys? Like, no, but like dead ass. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Like,
yeah.
When did I become the middleman?
Like, when was I supposed to know?
And not only that, it was just like I'm playing. Not only was I playing psychiatrist for like 2 people, but then I was also playing freaking big brother and dad to the oldest member of our group.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, so that's what I am to you guys. That's where I stand then.
I guess so, to them.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess I'm just the psychiatrist. I'm somebody you can have an ear on. That's fine, but like, when I come up with my problems, just like, well, have you tried this? Yeah, okay. And I'm like, I'll sit there and text out a whole little paragraph for you to tell you the shit you can do.
Yeah.
And then you just give me like little mill-ass responses, man. Like, what the hell is that? What the hell?
If you were to say something to any one of them right now, after all this time of like now having space and you reflecting back on how things were, what would you say?
Why the fuck didn't we talk more?
Yeah. I mean, we have an issue right now with someone because that person didn't say anything. And now there's this whole tension with something that we're just like, what happened? And even now, what happened? I still don't, you know. And now I remember when it happened with this person, you guys were kind of looking at me. I was like, oh, I didn't do anything. I didn't say shit. Like, I haven't said, I didn't do anything. Like, that's what I was asking you. What happened?
And then, out of the blue, blocked.
And then unblocked again.
Blocked.
Let me ask you something, because that's another thing that I am very, very annoyed with. When you have an issue with someone, right? It's fine for you if you want to have your time and your space. That's anybody, right? Like, let me walk. Let me just reflect on it. You know, give me a week, whatever. But if you know you're going to talk to the person again, eventually, how do you feel like when someone just blocks you just to eventually unblock you or send you your friend request again? Isn't that annoying?
Annoying and hypocritical, actually.
It is. It really is. But from your perspective, why?
I feel like if you're going to block this person, okay, you have the intent to never talk to this person again. So, fine, you did this. Let's keep it like that. You don't want to talk to me? Fine.
That's where I stand my foot on. Absolutely.
But if you're going to unblock me and then just like pretend nothing happened.
Exactly! I could give you a hug right now. Exactly, dude. Like, oh my gosh, that's just...
It's like, I remember a video, a reel you posted where it was like some dude was flipping on the couch and you're just like, so we're gonna pretend that didn't just happen? And then this person hit me up out of the blue after unblocking and it's like, hey, how's it been? You know, I haven't talked in a while.
Wait, weren't you mad at me?
I'm sorry, wait, are we gonna pretend like that didn't just, like the past 2 years didn't just happen?
Exactly, yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't know why people do that. Let me ask you, have you ever done that?
I have never done that. I've definitely blocked people now.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
And, like, I'm completely done with them. Like, I don't want to have any contact because you kind of made my whole... Your energy that you were giving off, man. It was just bringing me down. Yeah. And I'm just like... I'm kind of done with it.
It's toxic.
Yeah, it's toxic. I'm done with the drama.
Yeah, exactly. There's only so much a person can take once you do that. Because here's the thing that I hate about that. Now that we got social media, right? Like, sometimes people do it just to, like... feel like they did something, but I'm just like, all you did was just show that you're completely petty, because it just goes to show, okay, well, you can't clearly handle an argument or a situation, because for you to have to go to that length, it's like, when have I ever done that to you? Like, when have I ever blocked you? Like, I know I'm going to see you again, I know I'm going to talk to you again. Yeah, if you need your space, and just have your space, but you doing that, you know what you're telling me when you do that? It means I don't want, like you said, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to build anything with you. Yeah. And then afterwards, it's like you come back to me, you unblock me and do everything, and I'm like, okay. But then there are people, even right now, that have a habit of doing that over and over and over. When they do that like 5 or 6 times, where do you come from on that?
Just at this point, either talk to me now or don't.
Exactly.
I'm done playing the games, because at this point, if you keep doing it, I'm just gonna do it permanently. Like I'll flip the same game.
Let me ask you something. I'm kind of doing that right now with 2 people. If I did that right now, after I was to tell you they blocked me, unblocked me, blocked me, unblocked me, blocked me, but only because they were upset. I never did that. I don't need to do that. Like, you know, if I did that, I'm going to let them know something. I'm not trying to do that, you know? And I say this all the time. If we have disagreements in anything, that's fine, you know? But if I was to block you, unblock you, then block you again, then unblock you, and do it 6 more times, wouldn't you just be like, I'm done?
No, honestly, the last text you would probably see from me is, just fuck off. No, honestly, like, clearly you don't want to be friends.
It's like that's what you're trying to tell me. Like, you keep doing that over and over. Like, what's the point of this? You know, like, we're adults. We don't need to do that. Like, if you're teenagers, I don't know, that's different. You know, teenagers is a bunch of teenage drama. But as adults, it's like, what's going on here? Like, you want to talk? Do you not want to talk? Are you cool, but we're not cool? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's that whole thing. It's just like, okay, so I don't know if we're cool or not. At this point, I'm tired.
Yeah, thank you. For me, it's more like, look, if you're gonna do that again, I got better things to do. I got my life. I'm trying to work on my shit. If that's what you're gonna keep doing every single time, either you're mad at me or you know, we have a disagreement of any kind, then let's just not be around each other anymore. Because it's like, I'm not going to be doing this cat and mouse back and forth with you. It's just childish. Yeah. Especially childish if you're an adult. I mean, look, this is just stuff that me and you are dealing with. Well, I mean, one person. With me, it's 2 people. But with you, it's 1 person. Can you imagine doing this if we were like 40? Wouldn't that just be ridiculous if we're like 40 years old and you're like, wow, we're still doing that? It was going on for 20 years and it's going to happen another 20 years.
I'm 40. I got 10-year-old kids, and then and Dad, what are you doing? I'm playing cat and mouse with this person on Instagram. Give me a minute, son.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me a minute, Junior.
It's just very unfortunate that people do that. I don't know if they get satisfaction out of that. I don't know if that's supposed to represent a stance. And if it does, oh yeah, you're representing something, but it just goes to show that you like running away. You're not supposed to run away from your problems. You confront them.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
Again, going back to that whole thing about like people on social media and like the toxic cesspool that a lot of social media is. I've been asked so many times, you're a YouTuber or you're an influencer. Why don't you have a Twitter?
I have one.
I know you have one, and I get asked that, and I'm just like, oh, I have one simple rule why I don't have a fucking Twitter, because it's fucking toxic, and I don't support Elon.
It's true, yeah. A lot of people like to really rant on Twitter a lot. I mean, that is the point of it.
Yeah, but I'm just like, me personally, and they were like, oh, is it like the whole... I was like, oh, no. See, don't make this about politics.
It's not.
It's not. I don't give a shit. I can't stand the people that go on there and just bitch all the time. And then it takes one person to say, well, I think this way. And then you're just getting flamed by that person's entire fuck. I'm like, all I said was one thing. What the fuck just happened?
Isn't it sad that you can't just disagree anymore? Everything is such a huge argument and assumption.
Yeah, and that's my weird. I'm like, I tell people that's kind of why I don't fuck with Twitter, because all I have to say is one thing, and it turns into this whole fucking thing. It turns into this whole thing, and then it takes the media 1 second to get a hold of it and show it.
People don't know how to just have an approach to everything. Everything is just such a reaction. And it's such a dramatic reaction. That's what's so sad about it. And you're just like, was it really that serious? Like, you're going to cost this person their job or career because they don't like it. Like, it's okay.
Kevin Hart got the Oscars taken away from a tweet from 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I was like, that's 10 years ago. Like, people change in a decade. Like, what is that? What does that have to do with now? Like, did he say it again? You know?
And it was a bunch of gay jokes. And I was like, so 10 years ago when gay jokes were funny? When you could actually make fun of a gay person 10 years ago, you can still do it now and they don't care.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them that don't care because they know how to take a joke.
Yeah.
It's comedy, But even if it's not comedy, it's just, look, it's a statement. You can even be like, okay, that's unfortunate, I don't agree with that, but just leave it at that.
And then you're like, oh no, he needs to apologize. For what? For being a comedian?
Yeah.
Bro, that's why I'm afraid of what happened to Twitter too. Bitch, I'm not about to have a job so you could go dig through 10 years of something and be like, Michael, what's this?
I don't know, I forgot.
I don't know, let me see. Hold on, what does that say? This movie review you wrote about Captain Marvel 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. The movie's still shit. What do you want? Still think Brie Larson shit? I still think the story was shit. What do you want from me?
So, my friend, now that since we've talked about a lot of things, and I've obviously brought up a lot of topics, is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Oh, no. Actually, you pretty much touched on a lot of topics that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And even let me ask you something. Just going back on Legit Studios mainly, you think we've grown since then?
Oh, 100%. I feel like all of us have.
I mean, we still got our problems, but we're better.
Yeah.
We can handle things a lot better now. Obviously, we still have our talks sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's just to help each other out. We communicate.
Because this device here, I call it an iPhone, actually. And see, Angel, it works both ways.
I thought you had to call me all the time.
No, see, all you have to do is pick it up and
Shut up.
you type in my name, it's magical, actually.
Yeah, I can, believe it or not, I don't have to be in front of you to talk to you. I can actually put it in my ear and, hey, it's you.
It baffles the mind that a lot of the crew left because they were like, oh, well, we don't communicate. Look, there's this magical thing called a phone. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have it.
It's kind of unfortunate that that's the reason. Because it's like, let's be real, has me or you or Gabe or, not Julius us, but the three of us,
let's do the Three Musketeers.
Three of us right now, right?
Yes.
Have we ever came across, we don't want you guys to talk to us, figure it out?
No. I'm pretty sure Gabe has, not pretty sure. He has asked me, have you ever heard from anybody else? And I'm just like, no. Because nobody picks up the phone to call me. I have to call them. And it's sad because they're just like, he doesn't talk to me. How did you call this person then? You have my number.
It's like, what's the problem?
Yeah, why do I have to call you?
Let me say this right now also. We've had a friend in the crew that before the situation that we're currently dealing with had occurred, that before this person used to not really talk to us for a bit, and then you were the one that had to deal with it because this person texted you and was like, you never asked or you never talked to me, you never did anything, and then you told me about it and you were like, but you never called me, you never texted me, I'm supposed to call you? And then the same thing happened now to me, where this person communicated to me and was like, hey, I need this thing back, so just give it back whenever you have it. I'm like, whoa, like, wait a minute, like, what happened? It's been quite some time. Like, are you okay? Are you everything all right? Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, what? You know, so, like, you only called me because you wanted something.
Yeah.
But then when I try to actually show concern, you're upset for whatever the reason. Even now, if I'm being honest, just talking about this situation right now, we're currently dealing with a situation with a friend that, or an ex-friend, whatever, that is upset with us for reasons that we're being genuine. We don't know. I don't know.
It was out of the blue. We were blocks. That was it.
And even now, like, well, because I was the one that was dealing with it, and then you dealt with it afterwards a little bit here and there. You know, I was upset, but I was rightfully upset because I was just like, but okay, I get that you're mad. I'm not denying that, but why? Like, I'm like, what caused it? What happened? Oh, no, you know. If I'm saying why, it's because I don't, like, what happened? Did someone say, no, I don't have time for it. I'm tired of dealing with your BS. What BS? What are you talking about? Okay, bye. Block.
Yeah, it's just...
And then you would try to mind your business, and you did something that was close to that person, and then that person unblocked you just to say something to you and then hide again. And then recently that person communicated with you, and like you said, acted like nothing had happened.
Yeah, it's just like, okay. I'm just like...
Like, what are we doing here? You know, it's like, what's going... Like, what? Like, are you going off by emotion? Or you just, whenever you're in a good or a bad mood? I'm like... I'm so lost.
Yeah.
It's kind of... It's people like that I really want to avoid now. Because it's like, look, if you can't handle your own emotions, then don't be around people. I'm sorry. It's like, you can't get mad at people for having a reaction if you're going back and forth so many times. That's just natural. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to figure yourself out, have some time. We all did it. But it's like, for you to go out there and start putting blame on something for no reason. Because even now, I still don't know. You don't know. Gabe doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't get mad at us then. Be mad at yourself. Don't get mad at us. It's like, we're not even on here talking shit. Like, we're still being respectful about it. But we're just still trying to, and then at the end of the day, we're just scratching our heads like, what happened though?
Yeah, no, it's sad that Legit Studios fell.
It did, yeah.
Because there was no communication. There was only communication for 3 people, and the rest of them were expecting...
handouts, or like...
they were expecting...
special treatment?
Yeah, they were expecting, oh, well, why don't you call us? And it's like,
no.
That's not how a phone or like a conversation works. You can't expect just one person to be like, oh, well, why don't you come over here? Mm-hmm. Or why don't we hang out? Like, you never... I've had so many, and I'm just like, how come y'all never call me to hang out? Like, it's always, are we hanging out? And it's like, well, I mean, are we? Like, I got shit to do. And then y'all want to make me feel like the bad guy, because it's like, well, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, have a little attitude about it. Like, what the hell?
But it's like, I didn't do anything, though, you know?
And again, it's sad that this whole thing... Because I started Legit Studios in high school because I had a love for Smosh, and I was like, I want to be on the level of them. But my whole thing fell apart wasn't from fucking Defy Media or anything like that. My thing fell apart because of communication.
It's weird too, because we were always hanging out with each other. And even if the whole group wasn't together, we still hung out regardless. All the time. And we saw each other all the time. And we would talk all the time. And we would text each other all the time. Whatever. And it's like, we still miss that. It's like, how? Like, all these opportunities of us talking and communicating in their particular way, you still chose not to say anything.
Yeah.
So how are you mad over here when you know we're always around? We're pretty much, me and you in particular, we're easy to get to when it comes to being on the phone.
Yeah.
You know? And if we're not available, we can at least say, oh, not right now. Just give me like an hour.
An hour, 35 minutes. It's
like whatever, yeah. You know?
I'll call you right back. It was like, okay. And then immediately call you right back. All right, what you want to talk about? And it's like, but everybody, oh, well, you guys never looked into me. You guys never called. And it's like, look at shit. You never called me.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You can't put blame on like that if you're not putting in effort on your end. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
That's just being childish.
Again, I'm not fucking Professor X, bro. I'm not in a wheelchair going like, God damn it, Julius needs me to call him.
Michael, I'm just gonna be like, Michael, have you sensed anything yet?
Hold on, son of a bitch, I had to call Gabe an hour ago.
But I mean, despite a lot of the negativities that happened with Legit Studios, sadly, there has been a lot of good things too.
Definitely a lot. We had a lot of fun, and I do want to say, like, between me, you, and Gabe, like, my favorite series we ever did together was Buy, Still, Take. Still my favorite series.
But you know what, man? Even though we've had our issues there, at least we're still talking. You know what I mean? At least we still got each other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very grateful for that. So, Michael, you know, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, no. Just to let you know, after this podcast, you can go fuck right off.
Bitch.
You can go fuck right off. This friendship's over, man. No, I'm sorry.
But we did the video and the...
Yeah, I'm just here on your podcast to announce that you can fuck right off.
Why didn't you just call me?
I can tell you face to face, man.
Just last thing I thought of. If you're ever in an argument, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to argue in text, or would you rather just call?
No, fuck you. I'm calling you.
Thank you.
You tell me you're
Thank
mad,
you.
bitch. All right, get on the phone. Hold on.
It's like, just call me. Like, I don't do that. You know, people love to send these fat ass paragraphs, and I'm just like, just call me. Like,
yeah, and then again, you know who you are.
Yeah, come on now.
You do this all the time. You'll send you will send me a fucking autobiography. No, this person really will send me an autobiography of what the fuck's going on, and I have to sit there and be like, fucking, I have to sit there and be fucking, what's his name? I have to be R.R. Martin and be like, no, hold on, the text is coming. Trust me, the texts are coming. Like, you will get the next page of this text. Hold on, let me explain it.
It's like, thank you for confirming everything that went down one by one. It's like, thanks. I love being reminded.
I love reading the entire issue.
It's not like I remember it.
It was so irritating. Like, I have several of those still saved.
Still?
Whew. And I also have my backup plan just in case. I get a letter.
In case there's some extra BS coming, you could be like, actually.
No.
The great thing about text messages is that you always save them.
The great thing about text messages is this lovely thing called a screenshot. You gotta love technology, don't you?
Right. It has its downs, but it has its ups. Shit, man. It's just good to know that we're still cool, though. You know, we went through a lot, Mike. You know, we're still figuring it out, but we're getting there. You know what I mean? We're not as close anymore when it comes to hanging out, but we still keep in touch, and that's something we can be proud of, my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know Gabe right now is just focusing on college. I'm getting ready. I'm finally getting out there. You know, you're doing your thing right now. You're working. You're saving your money. Getting ready to head to Los Angeles pretty soon. You know what I mean? Are you excited for Los Angeles?
To tell you the truth, I'm like a bit nervous, yeah, but I am a little excited. Again, I'm probably going to save like for 2 months worth of rent because like it's
expensive out there.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I mean, we've had our talks about seeing if you want to head over there. Well, like it's still a discussion, you know, for later.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's good. So with that said, though, Verse, thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. Shout out to my good buddy Michael at Relay here. Michael, again, thank you so much for coming on here, man. Yeah. I appreciate you, my buddy, my best friend, my brother from another mother, my white guy, my black guy.
I should kick you so hard.
Sorry.
Like, you have an open shit. I'm gonna just like fucking clock you one good time.
I mean, you're like 5 different ethnicities.
Yeah, but white ain't one of them.
We don't know that. You gotta take that test, the one where you could, figure out what you are.
Swear to God, I'm gonna.
And if you're even 2% European, I'm gonna be like, white.
I'm gonna kick you so hard. In this shit, bro.
Well, with that said, though, if you like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification for more content. As always, look forward to the next podcast verse. And with that said, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Michael, for being here. We had some fun in the beginning of the video, but when you got here, man, we got straight to business, and I thank you for showing up. Thank you, man.
No problem, man.
Yeah. So with that said, though, look forward to the next podcast. Laters.
Yeah.
Great. That's cool, man.